All right, so today we are going to take one step further. We talked a little bit of last week, getting the basics of like what is the dramatic situation of a poem. So now let's see what we can do looking at poems to try and determine the dramatic situation. So here is a handout. There's 4 poems on it, right? And I've set it up so that we can do the 3 different things from that, how to read a poem and analyze. The first is dramatic situation, then is form and structure, then is literary and poetic devices. Today I'm going to break it down step by step, so we're just going to look at dramatic situation. Okay? Who, what, when, where, and why. The why is last. Did everyone get one? Okay. So I have the same poems up here. So first I'm going to model it for you, how we do it. I'm going to think it out loud. Then we'll do one together where I'll let you tell me what you think. Then you can do it in your table groups one time and then once by yourself. Again, we're just doing the dramatic situation right now. Can everyone read it? Okay, so I'm just going to work the way through it. How do I read a poem? First, I read it to myself. Then I'm going to read it out loud quietly to myself. From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. And I'm going to read it a 3rd time, and I'm going to start going through, can I do the dramatic situation for it? From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. So I'll start my notes over to the side, and I'm going to start with who. And who is who's saying it, and also what characters are there in the poem. And so what the best I can tell is there are characters in it at least. So there are characters here, and they are the moon beholders. And in this case, someone who's beholding something, it probably means here that they're watching. So in the play there are people, or in the poem there are people that are watching the moon. And I would say the speaker then, as best as I can, right? Because it's not always going to be obvious. The best I can say is that the speaker is someone who sees people watching the moon. I can't say whether it's a male or a female. I can't say whether they're young or old or any of these things. I can't say it's John or Jim or Jane. Okay? All I know is that in this poem there are some people watching the moon, and the person telling it to us describes what's happening during then. So they see this event. Someone who sees the moon watchers. That's who we know is speaking in the poem. The what? Okay, from time to time, the cloud gives rest to the moon beholders. So, let's see here. Well, what's happening is that clouds are moving across the sky. I know this because it says from time to time. From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon holders. That means the clouds are covering the moon. Right? So the people that are watching the moon don't watch it anymore because there's no moon there. Right? But it's only from time to time. So it's like this is an action occurring. So the clouds are moving across the sky. They cover the moon. The moon watchers stop watching until the moon shows back up. From time to time, so it's not constant, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. So there's people out at night, obviously, watching the moon. The clouds come in, they cover the moon, so they stop watching it. or at least when it's dark out. Do you consider like 4 in the morning nighttime? I mean, listen, it's called 4 in the morning. It's not really called 4 at night, but I mean, do you? You consider that night or morning?
Morning is like 5:30.
Yeah.
Morning's like 5:30.
That's
When
when
people
you're-
actually start waking up.
Yeah? Okay.
Which is that's weird.
It is a, well, there is a weird time, right? Just even the idea that it's called 4 at night or 4 in the morning, people say different things, right? That somehow you think it can't be both, right? When it can't. So we know that, at least that it's dark out, so that you can see the moon. The other thing that we know is that it is fall season, right? We're looking at a haiku now, and in our notes it tells us that mention of the moon is a kigo for fall, right? So I'll just put in here that we know that it's fall because of the kigo. Finally, I'm trying to figure out where this is taking place. This is the one that's really vague. You would say it's most likely outdoors. It doesn't necessarily mean our speaker's outdoors, but you wouldn't see 3 or 4 people watching the moon, right, if they were inside their house, unless you were doing something weird like staring in their window, and that's not in our poem here, right? The speaker could be on their front porch of their house or sitting in their house and looking out the window and seeing people outside, right? But for the most part, that's all we can get there. So I also will write here an NS, that means not really specified. And that's going to happen when we're doing the haikus. We're not always going to be able to answer all of the questions. Sometimes it'll be not specified or really vague. This is a fairly vague who, right? But there are a couple of details. Often when we determine the what, right, it will help us a little bit with the who. Are there any questions or things that you would add that maybe you think I've missed or you don't understand? All right, so let's do one together. So we're going to go to the next poem. Does everyone have these notes? I can erase it? Yeah?
How about why?
Why we don't do until we've done all the parts of the poem. Those other columns you see, that's when we'll start with the why. You have trouble? They kick you out? They don't want you to do
I'm
something?
the MC, so they don't really need me.
Dude, does that mean you're going to do some rapping? I'm the MC. No, okay. Look at you. You were like.
I'm just talking.
Okay. So, everyone, what do you do first? Read the poem silently to yourself.
Do you need to shift my
I will, but right now we're in the middle of this. After you've read it aloud silently to yourself, you read it a second time, quietly, but with a little volume to yourself. And then you read it a third time, and you're specifically trying to see if you can answer any of the who, what, when, and where questions. Okay. You do not have to answer the who, what, when, where questions in any particular order, just because I have them written here. So we could start with the easiest one. Iva, what do you think about when? At night? Can we be any more specific? Sometimes you gotta get your science involved into it. Can you be any more? Oh, let me ask one question. Are there any words that anyone doesn't know? Do. You know what a bead is, right? But this is not an actual bead like you make jewelry from. It would be a little round thing. Dew is the liquid that forms when the temperature changes between night and the morning, and you look at a blade of grass or whatever, and it'll have little drops on it, right? So it's the liquid dew, right? So that's what dew is, and maybe that helps us. So it's night, right? But I'm going to say again, maybe we would determine when at night do you think it is? It's probably closer to the very early morning or that time when it changes from night to morning. That's normally when the dew comes out. Does anyone see a kigo in here? Would we have a kigo by the haiku? It's okay, it's not in your list, but I looked it up. You can type in Japanese kigo into Google and it'll give you a list of every word that could be one, right? So, according to the kigo, it's fall. Okay, so dew is associated with the fall. Let's try and do what? What is happening? What do you think? Why don't you write down your wants really quick? What do you think it is, Mike? Oh, I'm sorry. You told us the what that you came up with.
Their caterpillar has like piece of dew in its hair.
There you go. Anyone want to add anything? Is he moving? Is the caterpillar moving? Maya, you're shaking your head no. There's no indication that he's moving, is there? Right? Yeah. Right. So really, sometimes it's just really simple like this. Like it's a kind of picture. You're describing the picture. The what is that a caterpillar has dew on its body. Okay, who? Well, one of the characters in this poem is the caterpillar.
It's a very hungry caterpillar.
I don't know. It doesn't say that it's eating. It's a caterpillar, and we also know that it's hairy. And it's wet, because it's got the beads of dew on it. But let's try and think about the speaker of the poem then, right? It's going to be potentially not very specific. Bill, who is the speaker? We have the character as the caterpillar, but... Okay, someone who is, let's try and be specific. Someone outdoors, outside.
Outside, looking at night.
At night or in the morning, so they've either just woken up or they're still awake, right? So someone outside at night or early morning, and they see, there you go. See caterpillar, notice the dew. Yes, Yuda?
I think that this is a song.
A what?
I think that this is a haiku for summer.
A haiku for,
Summer.
Yeah?
Season.
this, are caterpillars?
No, it's a short night. That refers to summer.
Ah.
And the caterpillars,
Generally not the fall.
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, well, actually, yes, short nights in summer and caterpillars are happening after. Absolutely, there are numerous kigos that I would say that exist here, right? There was not one from our list, so I was like, oh, I wonder if dew is one, and that's the one that I looked up. But I agree with you in terms of kigo. It's probably much more like summer, and your justifications are exactly right. Okay, and what about? Where does this take place? Well, Bill gave it to us, right? This is going to be outdoors. And besides that, I'm going to put not specified. We don't know any more than that. But really, you're not going to get any dew forming on anything inside. Okay, so the next poem I want you to do together with your group at the table. Right? So I want you to ask each other the questions, talk through like I have here with each other. And I'll pull it up on the board.
What's a close one?
I love how silently you guys work together. Right? You must speak to each other. Don't do it first and then talk to each other. Do it together. Say, hey, what do you think? Wow, thank you. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll do it myself. Answer the question and say, who do you think it is? And share answers and then write your answers down. Don't do it the other way.
Someone observing the flower. Door.
Now, what's interesting is
There's winter and frosty roads. New Year is like spring, yes, frosty. That's like New Year's is also the
it's in Western, so January.
New Year's also
Now I'm seeing this like kind of over time.
But in this region,
Well, let's just use our common sense then, right?
New Year begins. New Year.
Which is when? Yeah. Plus,
The flower.
there's a.
Frosty. But blooming.
I know there's a contradiction in the poem, isn't there, right? But the most obvious thing is if it's the New Year and it's almost frosty, it's going to be what's season. Yes. Could have happened in the desert. Okay, well then anywhere is a little too broad. You could say it's not specified. I wouldn't say that it's anywhere, all right?
I'm not specifying.